Well, hello, everybody, and my name's Guy Wehman. Thank you so much for tuning in. There's been a lot of talk about what's coming up this fall with college football. Now, it used to be four teams, and the four teams would be in the playoffs, and that would determine the national championship for college football. Well, this year they've expanded it now to 12 teams. People have been wanting more than just the four. They've had the 4+2, which was the 6. A lot of people were saying, what about 8? Having the 4 or 5 main conferences that would be in automatically, and then some at-large teams. Well, they have finally decided on a 12-team playoff system. Now, the teams will be chosen and ranked by a 13-member selection committee that meets weekly over the final 6 weeks of the season. Now, they're going to use criteria that has been previously established. Now, the 5 conference champions, they'll be ranked highest by the selection committee, and they'll receive the automatic berths. So out of the 12, you've got 5 already in there. Now, the top 4 are in there automatically. Number 5, based on their rankings, they might be ranked number 12, but they'll still be in there. They'll have to play a few more games. But that is the most interesting part. And so then, it'll be like a round-robin type of a thing, where we're not round-robin, but you lose, you're out. So you win, you play again. Now, the top 4 champions of the conferences, they receive a first-round bye. Now, seeds 5 through 8 will host first-round games on their own campus. Now, this is the big benefit here. This is not going to be like at Jerry's World or some other stadium across the country. These will be on the college campuses. Benefits is that you've got these kids that they play on these campuses all the time, and if they host it, what is also nice is that the student body and all the people that have been rooting for them all season, they get to attend, and it's familiar surroundings, which means you have that host team really going for it. And that is the beauty of this system. So number 5 will host number 12, number 6, 11, and so on. And so it'll be based like that. And then after they get through that first round, then they go to the next round. Now, Notre Dame does not play in a conference. However, if they're ranked in that top 12 of teams, because here's the deal with Notre Dame, is that they win and they play well and they're placed well with this selection committee, they'll be in. So they don't have to be in a major conference. Remember that the major conferences, they get the top 5. But outside of that, Notre Dame will still have those other 7 slots, and it's basically how well you play throughout the season. That is the beauty of this. Now, the 2 biggest reasons for the 12-team playoff are inclusion and engagement. They want more teams to get access to college football, and this is the marquee event. Now, the bowl games will still be there. For example, the semi-game, they'll have a quarterfinal game, and that'll be the Fiesta Bowl. That'll be on December 31st, followed by the games at the Peach Bowl and Sugar Bowl on January 1. Now, the Orange Bowl and Cotton Bowl, they'll still be represented, and then the trophy will be handed out at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. So they'll just be backing it up like another week, but there's nothing wrong with that. Now, what is also interesting is that there are conferences now that have totally expanded. For example, the Pac-12 down to 2 teams. That's it. They've been decimated because they've been picked apart. Big Ten, that is the big kahuna. That is probably the biggest conference and the most powerful. Remember, too, this is all about the Benjamins, all about the money. So if, they want the money that TV revenue is going to bring in. So the SEC, which has always been this dominant conference, it'll still be a dominant conference because you still have to play well. And if there's 2 teams by a single conference within that top 12, that second team will also be allowed to be in, so they will not be penalized. So the winning of the conference, they're automatically in. But say a number 2 or 3, if they're still ranked within that top 12, then they're still able to play. Remember, they can still beat number 1 and move on up. So that is really quite amazing. But you have all these playoff teams, and then they're going to be starting. Now, what is also interesting here is that there's going to be some games played, and they're going to be opposing NFL games. For example, the first 4-round games this year will take place on Friday, December the 20th. That's the Friday before Christmas. Christmas is on a Wednesday now. And then Saturday the 21st. Well, the NFL, they have scheduled games for the 21st. So there's 3 games by the NFL, and there are going to be 3 games by this playoff system. So then you'll have to choose, do I want to watch the NFL or do I want to watch college? And you'll have that choice. Now, you can record them on your VCR players. You don't have VCRs anymore, but digital recorders and things of that nature with your cable provider or your internet provider or whatever you're using, so then you can watch them later. But getting stacked up around that holiday season, whether it's the weekend before Christmas, the weekend between Christmas and New Year's, and then New Year's Day, which is also going to be on a Wednesday, then after that. Now, still on Sundays, that's NFL big time right there. Although the NFL, they have gotten into the game here with games on Christmas Day. Remember, the NBA has always reigned at Christmas Day. They've always had games on Christmas, and people love that. Well, the NFL is saying, we want our bid too, and so they're going to be into the action. But this is now college, and so this is kind of like the fun of it. So the first 4-round games this year will take place on Friday, December the 20th, and Saturday the 21st. 1 game will be played on that Friday, 3 games played on that Saturday. So if you're looking at 5-12 and 6-11 in those games, those are the ones that'll be, those first 4 games will be tapped in on that weekend. So that's just kind of breaking this down for you and letting you know kind of what this is. Luke Hagedorn's going to be joining me at later times here, but we're kind of breaking this down to make sure that you understand. We're trying to take the confusion out of this because it's 12 games now, 12 teams actually, and there's more money for advertisers because there's more games to broadcast, and each one of these games will mean something. So it's kind of like March Madness, and they're also publishing brackets for this. And so then you'll be able to choose the brackets of, oh, okay. And just like March Madness, where you have those brackets and you submit those in, you watch. There's going to be major betting on your brackets, and there's going to be times to submit your brackets in as it gets closer and as the selection committee breaks into this. Well, thanks so much for watching. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button right here. And thank you so much. And we'll be back another time. So, Guy Wehman here, signing off. Catch you again.